everybody, welcome back. Weather has finally cooled off here, so hopped in here on a Monday. Going to work on the Indian Larry Tribute Panhead build. Have not made a video for this bike in quite a long time. I have worked on a few little things here and there when I had a spare minute, but mostly Mondays are my day for that bike, and when it's brutal hot out, I just don't have the energy. So anyway, so we're back here Monday. I'm going to work on the parts for the front springer leg. So we have the stainless steel cross piece. We twisted some stainless steel hex for the legs, and then I've begun machining the bottom pieces where the rockers will mount. So that's what we're going to work on today, is finishing those up. They got to go in the mill now. Started in the lathe, and we're going to cut some flats on them, possibly drill the bridge for the spring rods, and then maybe look at starting to kind of get this assembled, just depending on how much I get done, how the day goes. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. Alright, so this is the pieces I started working on. Just some 1¼ inch stainless round bar. You can see here they've been bored. That'll slide up on the hex bar, get welded in place. You can see I got a little scribe line here, maybe, if it'll focus on it. I don't know if you can see it or not, but anyway, there's a scribe line there. We're going to turn this round into a flat tab and then drill it. So in order to do that, we got it in our collet block here. This will let us cut one side flat, flip it over, and get a nice another flat 180 degrees opposite of that. So looks like this is moving around in our collet. So let's see if we can get this tighter in here. Now, the collet block is not cutting it. That was one of these like emergency collets. It's probably a little bit over the real capacity, being a 5C collet and using 1¼ inch is probably a little bit of overkill. So I'm gonna see if we can. Actually, I probably don't want these big huge V blocks. Where's my little blocks? Alright, so we're going to set this up in our V blocks here. Obviously this won't be quite as easy as it would have been with the collet block, because we'll have to manually flip this 180 degrees. I'll just use a little machinist square or something to line it back up once we're done. And then we'll have to flip it 90 degrees to drill a hole, but again. Alright. So this should give us what we need. Let's give this. All right, so first operation is done on one piece. Got this thinned out so we can put our bolt through it. Obviously we still have to drill a cross hole here, but we're going to go ahead and do the next part. Same operation. We'll get to this, both pieces to this stage, then we'll come back and show you the next operation. So we got our top crossbar mounted in the mill vise here. We're going to use our edge finder to find center of this part in both the X and the Y axis. That'll give us direct center point of it, which then I can offset from left and right to drill for the two spring rods, which will go up through the spring support on the rear leg and mount the springs and spring cups and all that stuff to assemble the front end. So once we had the edge found, we're going to swap out to our drill chuck, and we will move over to our first location, center drill and drill, and then do the same thing, move it over for our second spring rod drill hole location. We're drilling these for 3/8 thread. That's what the factory spring rods on the original Springer that we're using, that we're going to have this modified leg on. So rather than reinvent the wheel, we'll just go ahead and make them what it already is. We do have to cut them down because the original Springer, they go all the way through and get a nut on the bottom, and these are just going to be a blind hole that the rods thread into. So we'll have to modify the rods slightly, but figured why change the threads. It's just one more thing to modify, so we're just sticking with the original thread pitch. And we'll just shorten those legs up to the desired length once we get everything put together.
And that's going to be the top.
Yeah. Alright, so we got all our parts kind of rough machined. We're going to do a little test fit. These will go on the end of this rod here. This rod slips into here. And that's going to give us our front leg. This will get put in a fixture I have around the corner to get welded. Obviously we still have to cross drill these, but I can't find my loose front springer leg right now, so I'm going to leave that until we get that figured out, because I need that for the whole location. And then I also need that to figure out the overall length of this. This is going to be too long. We're going to end up cutting these back some to get the right length, and then also doing a very slight wishbone on this to get the correct length. So, but overall, I think you kind of get the idea of what we're going for here. We got the twisted hex, double twist, twisted back and forth. Got our brass knuckle, crossbar, and a machined up end. So, pretty happy with what we got done for today. This manual machining work is very slow and tedious process. But at least we got all our parts roughed in, and as soon as I get somebody in here to clean up, we'll find that front leg and be able to finish everything off. Alright guys, that's a wrap for today. Only had a couple hours, so got done what I could. Real happy with the results. Tedious process, as always. But we got our general shape of our part, and we're ready to move on to finish work on it. So appreciate you guys watching along. Please don't forget to subscribe to keep up to date on all of our various builds and goings on in the shop, and hope to see you next time at Gattis Garage.